Yeah,
No.
and I think you're right. I think things are never gonna go back to where it was. And with I think, it's not a coincidence that a lot of people aren't returning back to the jobs where the dean was shitty. People are now valuing their mental health
Yeah.
more, and they just don't
Thank
want things
goodness.
to go back. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And if someone is listening to this right now and they're having a tough time, please go talk to someone. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
like no one's gonna think that's maybe like 10 years ago. Like it's
Yeah.
like, oh, like you got a thing, but now it's like, dude, I heard the greatest advice from my shrink the other day, and I want to tell you. But so, and we don't have to talk about this if we don't want to talk about this, but like being a white dude, like like I get the excuse of like being crunchy granola, but I don't know. Like my parents would never go to a therapist. I don't know about you guys and
No. Well, I mean,
your
I think
upbringing.
in minority culture, in Asian culture, no, we don't see therapists. We pray
Yeah.
to Buddha.
I went to
And
therapy, like I mean, not a lot, but like when my parents got divorced, I definitely went to therapy. And then like it was more so I was also gay and having to I was dealing with like anger and other I just didn't know why, but it's because I was different.
Yeah.
And like I think I went to like a few programs like Landmark Forum, which is like it's kind of a cult type thing, but it's not. It's just more of like you go there and they really try to bring out your emotions and like some of your past traumas, and they explore a lot of like your history, and help you try to move forward and overcome it. And it was like it's pretty much like group therapy sessions, that they do there. And like I went through a program like that once, and then I just had a normal therapist I saw at Kaiser. And then I went back to therapy when my great grandmother passed away, like maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. Just
Sorry to
through
hear that.
it's fine. It's
Yeah.
like just she was very old. It was just more so like through the college.
Yeah.
I also I was curious because we're paying this tuition, and I was like, we definitely get free. Like you get three
That's
free
yeah.
therapy sessions like at this institution. So I was like, I wonder what this is gonna be like,
Yeah.
And so I did, and I went to all three, and I had a great therapist. But after three,
Yeah.
the system is so fucked up that they're like, okay, you had your 3 sessions, that's all you get, and now there's
Yeah.
another person in line waiting to like take your place, and we can't offer you any other resources, But growing up, I will
I hope you
say,
figured it out. Yeah.
oh
like
no, totally,
peace.
totally,
Like,
yeah, yeah. But growing up, I definitely my parents were my dad not so much, but my mom was like really big on you need to talk to someone and getting it off your plate, or getting it out of your brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that's lasted with me through my life. And now like I haven't seen a therapist in a while, but like, you know, I just talked to one recently, and it felt really like I'm like, wow, I cannot like dump all of this on my friends, or like the people, like my family or my boyfriend or whoever. Like,
Yeah.
like everybody needs an outlet or someone. You can still talk to your friends about a lot of your different problems, and I highly encourage you to do so, especially if you're feeling like you're carrying a weight on your shoulders. But like, there's nothing like talking to someone who has a completely objective opinion, who cannot say shit to anybody about
Yeah.
anything, and just having that safe space.
Yeah.
yeah, I know that during the well, not even during, like even like right now, like mental health has been a big issue, especially when it comes to like the suicide rate amongst adults and kids. And it's still, and especially with the numbers between of males, because males, growing up, especially being from the Central Valley and of parents from a different culture, we don't talk about our problems. We internalize
Mhm.
it, let it bottle up, and then punch a wall. That was it. We drink
Mhm.
Go
whiskey, punch
drinking.
walls,
Yeah.
and it comes in, and that's not a healthy outlet, or and it's just not healthy for you mentally either. And Garrett's right. If you ever feel like you need to talk to somebody or there's something going on, you have to talk to someone. And we do have to normalize it too. You can't just be like, oh, you're a pussy, or like, oh, man up, rub some dirt on it. If
Yeah.
if someone has the courage to come up to you as a friend and goes like, hey, I I'm not feeling well. You can't just be
Yeah.
like, drink some whiskey, jerk off, you're fine. You know, I mean, you can't,
Yeah.
not simple
Don't be
solution.
such a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could just be like the small things, like oh man, I'm having a bad day, and maybe it doesn't take that much effort to be why or how or can you elaborate? It'll be like, oh, can you elaborate? It'd be like, oh, what's up? Just be like, what's up? You good?
Yeah.
And if they choose to elaborate on it more, then you know they needed to talk to somebody, and then we know we have to normalize it. We can't use toxic masculinity as a means to just shut them down. If somebody has the courage to come up to you, you have to, you have to be there for them.
Yeah.
Because they chose you for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say
Or get them into a space where they can see someone. Like,
absolutely.
yeah, like it's not, you definitely should listen to them and help them. It's such a weird line though. Like, but again, if you are not in a position to sustain them,
exactly,
like, it's also okay for you to be like, one, I care about you, and two, I want to be there for you, but like this seems like it needs to be you need to see a professional and someone that can hold you in this space and give you objective feedback. Because I also hate X, Y, and Z, and it's not healthy for me to just like, yeah, fuck, it's not you, fuck everyone else. Like,
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
because
like,
being a friend and being a therapist are different, you know.
They are different.
Yeah,
different.
and a friend is like someone who you may not even tell them, but you're like, I just need you to listen right now, you know, and you can kind of pop off and do your thing, and your friend is not really going to judge you because they're like, oh, they just had a shitty day at work, and you know, it's whatever. But like, it's a whole nother thing to like what Eric said, like go to a friend and be like, look, I'm struggling, or I'm not in a good headspace right now. And that's a lot of pressure to put on another person as well to like help you resolve that, you know? So we also have to be cognizant that our friends may not be in the best headspace themselves and be able to help us out of our kind of dark places too.
Yeah.
So I would agree with Garrett, but we still all have to be human, you know? And like there's certain situations, I mean, that's why I love going to music festivals and concerts, right? Because I see so many humans that don't know other humans doing very kind things or interactions and just seeing these like little intricate, I don't know, situations that pop up and happen because they're just so pure in a lot of different ways, and they're so human, you know, and it grounds me, and it reminds me of my humanity, and it makes me realize like, you know, we really are all in this together, even if it doesn't feel like it. We're still all breathing the same air and, you know, eating the same things and drinking the same water. And I don't know. That's why I don't I can't be a conservative, I guess. But you know, it's just a very different way of looking kind of at the world and taking the world on, you know, is understanding that, you know, I want to be there for other people, and I will create the space as much as I can, even if I may be struggling a little bit myself, right? And I think a lot of our friends, Eric, have that kind of in them, is that we all are struggling in various different ways, but we always make time for one another. Or if somebody is going through something, like we rally around them and raise them up. And like, that's, you know, that's why we're friends. And that's like friends who are family as well, you know, people who I would go to bat for any day of the week and like feel very confident and strongly about that, you know. And that's taken a while to form and grow and, you know, invest in with time and experience and everything. But it's like so worth it, whether it's the memories or, I don't know, the memories that come. It just feels very much like, you know, life is what you make it. And you have to surround yourself with people that are, you know, good people.
Yeah. If you're not mentally well to handle a situation, you have to be vocal about it. You can't just sit there and just have it fall to like deaf ears, you know. You have to be vocal and be like, after the first or second time, you'd be like, hey, I don't think I can handle this. You have to be vocal about it too. And the same can be said for the other side. Like, you can't be upset at that friend who is not ready to handle your situation. You know,
they're reciprocating your honesty.
yeah, if they're honest to you, you have to take it, and you have to seek help. And there's a lot of, also with the whole pandemic, it's changed the way medical services have been offered. Like, if you want to see a therapist, you can find one online. You can do online therapy sessions.
Yeah, I get ads all the time for like
Yeah.
random startup ones where they're like
Yeah.
apps for texting or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
And if
something.
they suck, go to a different one.
Yeah.
If they suck, you're not married to them. Go to a different one.
That's the hardest part though, is that a lot of people they reach out, they get the help, and then they have a shitty therapist or psychiatrist or psychologist, and then they literally, it turns them off so much that they never go back. Either the psychologist like blames them for the problem, or they just have some traumatic experience with it. But if you get a good one the first time or the second time, then it really can change your life, or at least leave the door open to seeking it later when you might need it, and that's super important.
So my experience with mental health, before Kate and I got married, we went to a marriage counselor. We're great. And man, I'm so lucky that I'm married to this wonderful person who strengthens me and kind of calls me on my shit because I need that. And like the way that she approached me was like, look, I love you very much and we have a great relationship. I want to go to counseling to establish that baseline. So if something ever does go wrong, like we have someone to go to who knows us. Like we're going to counseling because things are good and we're going to do this as maintenance. And whether we choose to do it or not, that's fine, but we need to take the step. You don't always have to wait until, you don't always have to wait until shit is falling apart to go see a counselor. Like, if you're just interested, like Lance, you just talked about this, like if you're just interested in the experience of just being able to be like, I wonder what it would be like to just talk to someone, go for it.
Right.
Like, you don't have to wait until shit is falling apart and you're at your wit's end.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. I agree with that, it's just like a primary care physician,
Yeah.
If you have a relationship with your doctor who knows your body, they know what you've been through, they know, your history, and they're able to work with you as an individual and get to know you. And it's even more so on the psychological level, on mental, where it's like, they know if you open up to them, they can really start to let you or start to help you like unravel a lot of your history and understanding. But even then, even if you just want someone to talk to you, like you said, just openly be like, yo, I like, some people move to new cities and they can't meet people. And, not to say that you should just go get a psychologist right away or a therapist, but like that would be super, super useful to be able to say, look, I'm struggling to meet people in this new town. And this is how I'm feeling right now, and they may not be able to say, oh, go to this bar and you'll find like all these people, but they'll definitely be able to give you pointers around like ways to keep yourself in the right headspace to meet people, when that opportunity does come show its head, they can really kind of set you up for success.
Yeah. Or you can invite a friend to dinner, agree to split the bill, and then unload your problems, then they can't leave. Especially the bill's over $100. Then they're trapped.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, it's mental health. Get it checked out if you think you need to talk to someone, because it's a serious thing. You're not a pussy. We all have problems, and
you're important.
Like, I mean, if you could just rub dirt on it, then fuck yeah. I mean, I wish that could happen.
That's just not the way your brain works.
Yeah.
Like if your ankle is injured, you're gonna go see a doctor. Like if your tooth falls out, you're gonna see a dentist. Like if you go through emotional trauma, you should see a professional. But your brain is injured. Like you need to go get that looked at. Like,
and too many people don't, and they don't know why they're doing some of the things that they're doing or reacting to some of the things, or they're stuck in a certain cycle that they're trying to get out of and they feel like it's impossible to get out of it,
and how isolating that is. Like
Yeah.
no one will
Absolutely.
understand. It's like, no, people will understand, and there's no guilt associated with that. Just go
Absolutely.
check it out.